Hi guys, how are you all today? I hope everybody's having a good day. Come in, say hi. At least I hit the go live button today correctly, and I'm crooked. Oops, let's see if I can make myself straight. There we are. Sorry about that. Um, but I did remember to hit the go live button. For those of you that looked to order workbooks, I ran out in the middle of that sale, and the new ones have finally come in. So they're back in stock. The digitizing so easy workbooks back in stock. So happy to see that those arrived while I was out of town. So hi guys, hi Sharon. Sharon emailed me earlier today, or just a few minutes ago. She's already been out there and has checked out the Artspira app. I'm currently downloading my update for my Luminaire so that it can talk to it, but I needed to finish a project that I was working on another one before I update my Artspira app. So kind of playing around with that. So for those of you that don't know it, Brother did release it on time. September 27th was their release date, and that has happened. So there is an update for many of the machines. The XPs have an update. The new 2850D, the new 1250E, the new 1150D all have a new version as of today. Your NQ 3700s, NQ 1700s, and NQ my brain has gone blank on the other one. So the NQ series machines also got an update today. The wireless ones that were released last year. As well as the XP. The multi-needles have not gotten a release yet, and I'm not sure if they're going to have that or not, but it is live. It is out there, so you can go and have fun with playing with it. I'm going to tell you this. The easiest way to sign in is to sign in using your Apple ID or your Google ID. If you sign in using a Brother account, you have to put in your email address every single time, and that's a pain in the patootie. So don't do that. Go ahead and do your Apple ID or your Google ID. That is the easiest possible way I can tell you to do it. Once you're in there at the bottom of your screen, I wonder if I can share my screen with you today. Hold on, let me see if I can share my app screen with you. Where is that? Hang tight for just a second. What is it? Squirrels. No, what is my, Lord have mercy, I'm drawing a blank on what app that is that I use. Wow. That's just crazy that I cannot remember that. I'm just drawing a blank right now. A reflector. Okay, I got it now. I know what I want to do, reflector. And let's see if it will let me share my app screen here. Now you cannot use a PNG file in the actual scan and cut machine, Audrey. You can bring that in through Canvas Workspace. However, you'd have to print out your PNG file for the scan and cut to be able to scan it in instead. It doesn't take an artwork file besides an SVG or an FCM file directly into the machine as far as artwork files. But you can take that PNG file into Canvas Workspace and convert it into a cut file. So as long as you're okay with doing that, you should be fine. So let me see here if I can share my screen here. Where is that? Share screen. Well, you're just, there it is. Screen mirroring. Let's see here. Perfect. Oh. Why did it not do it? Try that again. I must have hit the wrong thing. You don't put the Artspira on your machine, okay? you actually load it onto a mobile device or an app, or a mobile device, basically. So either you load it onto a tablet or to your phone. So can you easily change it to Google? Not really. Sandra, you'll have to use a different email address. That's one of the things that I've been having fun with today, is I signed in with my brother ID. So now I've got to figure out something else. Let me minimize everything so you guys can see what I want you to see. All right. Let me scroll up here and turn this back on. All right. So let's go in here to Artspira. You're getting to see everything on my phone. But I want you to see what we've got here. All right, so here's my phone, and down here at the bottom you see the settings, the little man. If you touch the settings and then you touch account, you can go into user information here, and you can link your brother account if you didn't have to sign in with a different email address, which I had to. So it won't let me link that account, but I can link my Canvas Workspace account. And once you've linked your Canvas Workspace account, your scan and cut stuff will automatically populate for you. So just so you know, that's how it works. And that's kind of fun. So scan and cut wise, basically right now, we can come in and grab one of the scan and cut files. And when you say create, it actually just takes you to this screen. You select the scan and cut machine that you want it to send to. And I have no idea which one's which here. And then you touch transfer. You can't edit this in any manner at this point. You simply can touch transfer, and it will say it's going to override it. You just say, okay. And it's going to send it over to the scan and cut machine that you selected. Okay. As far as and same way with the embroidery designs that are built in here. If you pick up the trick or treat one, when you touch create, you can see the information about the design here. It tells you what color, so you can always go about and hunt for the colors that it's telling you if you are a color 101 kind of girl. You pick this embroidery machine that you want it to send to if you have multiples registered, and then you simply touch transfer. It'll tell you it's going to overwrite. Oh, it can't go to the machine that I had selected because I have not updated that machine, because I'm in the middle of writing a blog that I needed to finish on the other app. So it can't go with it. So you will see the Artspira cloud on your sewing machine, on your embroidery machine. When you log into the Artspira app, it will make you create an ID for Artspira. Unfortunately, it held on to my beta ID, and so I couldn't reuse the one that I normally use, which kind of irritated me. It doesn't matter. You could put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, as long as nobody else has done that. But it has to be a unique ID to you. So just kind of keep that in mind. So the Artspira doesn't actually go onto your machine, but what does happen is you update your machine to the most current version of the machine software. And if your machine is wireless, and it's one of the models that I was talking about, so it would need to be an XP, it would need to be an NQ3700 or an NQ1700E, or the NS2850, NS1250E, or NS1150D. So those are the ones that it will work with. Yes, the Artspira app was released today. You should see it in the App Store, okay? And there are updates out there for all of those machines, and you should see an update notification on yours. Hold on a second, and I will show you what that looks like over here on my machine. Let's see here. If I go camera. Oh, y'all are going to get to see my messy room here. Sorry about that. So if I go back to my home screen, you'll notice I have a little information icon right there. That's telling me I have an update. All right. So that's, actually I didn't show that, so you didn't get to see my messy room. So hold on. Down here at the bottom, on your home screen, you'll see an update notification. This is on my NS2850D. That tells me there's an update out there for me to use. And once I install that update, it will recognize the most current version of, it will recognize the most current version. Extra Stellaires. Hold on, let me go look on my list. Like I said, they did a few of them today. They did not do all of them. So, it was the 1850D, the 1250E, the 2850D, the XP1 and 2, and XP3. And then they also did the NQ3700 and the NQ1700E. There are European models on there. I am not going for that. But yeah, so those are the ones that really were released today. I am assuming that at some point we will get the Stellaire. We should get the 1055X. We should get the 680W. I am not sure though. So I've got a text out there for that to see. It is live with the scan and cut machine, so I'm assuming I will have a scan and cut update. The other thing that you'll see on your machine, if you want me to share that with you again, wait a minute, what happened to my share? It went away. I don't know why, but it went away. Okay, so let me put this back over here. And let's share screen again. Screen number 2. I don't know why that went away, but hold on a second. I'll show you the other thing that you'll see. Once you've done that, when you go into your pocket, you'll see a cloud pocket somewhere on the machine. So in your retrieve area, you'll see that little Artspira cloud pocket. That's where you get those designs from. Okay. So that's where you'll retrieve anything that comes in through Artspira. All right. And I totally understand, Beth. I totally understand. It's kind of crazy when it's kind of, that's why I'm like, I don't want to remember another ID. There's too many out there, too many to try to figure out. Okay, guys, I'm going to close that little window there, and I'm going to talk about multi-position hoops. So I had a question come in this week about a multi-position hoop. So these are for those lower end machines that are either 4x4 or 5x7 only, but then they come with an extra hoop that's bigger. It's a 3-position hoop basically. And each design has to fit within one of those 3 positions, unless you're working with an NP design. Even then, a complete design needs to be in each of those positions. So I'm going to share that screen a little bit because that is not as prevalent these days. So that is something that is not addressed in the workbook. So if you click on your design settings icon right here, we are in P Design 11. When you go to the single needle machine and you scroll down, the hoops with the stars, the asterisks down here, are the ones that are the multi-position hoops. So if you are working with a 4x4 that extends up to, shoot, I don't remember how many 172. That almost makes it a 4x7. Okay. This is what would be with the 4x4, and you could rotate it 90 degrees if you want, if that works out easier for you. But your design has to fit. I'm going to subtract out here so you can see what we're at within each of these segments. The exception to that rule being text. If the text is created in PE Design, I could type in all the way across it. So when I come in here and I select that and I make it bigger, it can go all the way across that area and it will split it up into the sections. So This one, if we look at it and I go down in here to my properties, you'll be able to see that it's going to do TENNE in the first half. And then when I go to section 2, let me bring my screen over here. Hold on. This pops up. So when I go to section 2, you're going to see that the second half is going to show up as the SSEE. So it automatically divides that up for you. Okay. But the rest of your items have to fit within one of these sections. So I can either go from here to here or from here to here. It's a little interesting. Let me look. Let's minus out here so you can see. This is a hooped area. This is a hooped area, the green boundary, and this is one. So you can either choose to position it 3 different times or 2. Personally, I go with the 2. So having said that, if I put all of this information in here, I can't go beyond that right there, and unless I want to go to the 3rd position. Okay. So you just kind of have to keep in mind that I can't have it. Let me do something to show you exactly what I mean. I can't have a rectangle that goes all the way across that. If I try to do that and we look at it, it says adjust the pattern, position, or size. It can't split that up. So all of your parts would have to fit in within this segment. And that's how that works. It will split your text up for you, but it will not split a design. So you can't have a design that it goes all the way across it. Now, having said that, is there a way around that? I'm going to hold my control key down and the alt key down. Not alt key, shift key, because I want to go center out. Okay. So this would not be a great design to stitch, just so we're clear on that. But if we try to have it split, it's going to tell me adjust the pattern, size, or position. What you could do is come in and grab your split stitches tool and snip around an area to split the design. So now if you look at it, if we go to section 1, there's section 1. Let me bring this back over here. Here's section 2. Here's section 3. So that gives you that capability, okay? But that would be a workaround, okay? Your split stitches tool allows you to split the design up, and it will match it up pretty darn close. So especially since it's just straight across the area, you're not trying to match it up with something else that you haven't done in the software. That's when it becomes more challenging. All right. Do we have a Trapunto function? Well, Trapunto is basically a repeat. Okay, so let's come in here and look. Let me come and show you what we've got. So actually, let's switch that hoop to a wrong button to that. Let's go to a square frame here. And let's say we wanted to do a heart. And I'm going to do Control M to move it to the middle, and we're going to change it to where it's not sewn in the center, and we'll change this to a triple stitch. So if I wanted to create a Trapunto effect from this, I would choose Create Offset Lines. Once you do that, it asks you how you want to do, where you want to go. Do you want to go outward or inward? Well, you can pick whichever way you want to go, and you can select how far away you want your lines to be from each other. So let's say I want them to be 10 millimeters and I want 5 as my repeat. I can preview that. Ooh, I'm not crazy about that. Let's try rounded corners and see if we like that better. That gives you that capability of creating a Trapunto-like effect. Okay, the other way that you could do that instead is to do a background fill. And you could do echo, tell it you want it to echo around it, and choose next. I would do echo clipped on this one instead of echo round. And that would do the same thing. So you can choose your offset spacing for that. Let's say we did 6. Update the preview. So the Trapunto look comes from the lines of stitching going around the outside and the puffy material that you put underneath it. So the more batting that you place underneath it, the more poof you're going to get, and that center spot will pop way up. Okay, so good to. Does that answer the question? Did that answer your question? I'm not sure how to say what we've got here, but hopefully that answers your question. And let's see here. I don't see any other questions. So nobody sent questions in this week, which is rather shocking. I'm surprised at you guys. Y'all gave me a true week off. Amazing. I'm really surprised. Nothing massive came in. Somebody did post in one of the groups today that I kind of monitor about trying to thicken up a letter in BES4. So let's look at that. Here's my BES4, and for some reason my welcome window is now working again. I don't know if my software my McAfee decided that it likes it, but my welcome window is here again. So you can, these are your favorite links to other places in case I forget about that again, but we are just going to go with create new design. And I'm going to come here and, oh yeah, fringe designs. Okay. I'll take care of that. And we're going to come in and I'm just going to type in happy. I've got cap locks on. There we go. So let's come in here and let's make this 0.7. All right. And let's pick a true type font. So that'll give you a better look at that. Ooh, that's not one that I want to use. Trying to look for a skinny font. All right, this one would be skinny. All right. So how do you thicken up a font? It's not hard. You come down, you scroll down in your properties window down here where it says pull compensation and none. You come down here and you say absolute. I usually say absolute. Okay. And I'll type in 0.3 to see what that does. If that doesn't give you enough for it, come in and say 0.6 and click apply. Just keep asking until you have it ready to, until it fits your needs. Okay. Keep in mind that it's going to make your text larger, but that's how you take it. I always look at the lettering after I'm done in 3D draw mode to make sure no stitches got dropped. Okay. So keep that in mind. Vicki, I do not have a distributor for my books in Canada, but what you can do is order it through me. I do international orders a little differently. I do that through PayPal, and I can have your book shipped directly from my printer to you to save you a little bit of money on shipping. It tends to be less. I just basically need an address, a phone number, and all of that to get a quote for you to let you see if you're willing to, if that's good for you, and then they ship it directly to you. Joanne, I'll grab yours in a minute and I'm going to go over to fringe designs. All right. Fringe. In PE design, you have a little bit more leeway, guys. So that whole 10 millimeter rule kind of flies out the window in PE design. You get a little bit better options. So let's say I wanted to make just a row of fringe. You can make them long, and then you come in and you grab your line drawing tool. This is your key. Change it to like a zigzag stitch and then draw across with the shift key. We'll let you draw a straight line. Draw across there to create your anchor stitches. That will basically tack that down. And when you're done, Cindy, all you have to do is go from the, I usually will, and it's up to you whether you want, whether you want fuzzy fringe or whether you want looped fringe. Okay. So if you just want looped fringe, just cut out the bobbin, cut the slice with your seam ripper across the back side of it, and it will take it away. Okay. If you want, make sure it's a satin stitch, not a fill stitch, by the way. If you want it to have fuzzy ends, you can trim the loops off the bottom and give it a haircut, and then you get fuzzies. Okay, so that's how I create fringe. Now, having said that, if you're, let's say you wanted to do a Christmas tree that was fringe or a tree that was fringe. So you'd start with your bottom. I'm going to hold my shift key down so I can make straight. Oops, nope, that didn't work for that. So this would be my one row. And just so that it makes sense to me, so that I can make a tree here, I'm going to grab that one. Okay, so then I'm going to go Control key and take it up. And I'll change the color just so that I can tell it's a different one. And I would shrink that in a little bit, because each layer would be a little bit smaller. Control key and take it up. Change that color so you have an idea of what you've got going on. You'll sew them all. I would sew this mostly all in the same color, but just giving you an idea how you would do this. Control and take it up. And if you want the height to stay the same, you could always just shrink it in from the sides and leave your height the same on all of them, so that you still have the same length of fringe. So let me show you that one. So instead of doing what I just did, undo. Control and take it up. Hold your shift key and pull it in from the sides. So that keeps it the same length of fringe, but gives you a different width. So those side handles, the center sides, hold the shift key down, pull them in. This is just showing you that those are different colors. And let's do Control again. That's going to be the top of my tree. So, all right. Now you can go one more if you want. You can do whatever you want. It is your project. Then I go back in. I'll hide everything. Let's make these all different colors. I didn't do that as I was going. I got lazy. Just so that I have an idea what's what, and it separates them out, so it makes it easier to do the rest of this. Okay, so there's my psychedelic tree, cake, whatever you want to call it. And you can hide everything on top. So I'm going to grab all of those guys and hit the eyeball to hide them. And take my straight line drawing tool and draw it across. Make sure you cover that end. And then put it back up in the order where it should go. So now let's hide these two. And turn this one on. Once again, home, grab your line drawing tool from one side to the other. Take that, move it into position, and hide those two. And turn the next one on. The only reason I'm hiding it is makes it easier for me to deal with just one piece at a time instead of having to deal with figuring out where I want it to go. Take that one up, hide those two. Turn this one on. Home, shapes. Take it and move it up. And then hide those two again. Got the concept? Let's unhide this one. We did this fringe technique a gazillion years ago. So it has been a while since I've done this one, but I mean, it works well. I did a Christmas tree with this one time. And so your last one, you don't really have to hide anything because it's going to be the very tippy top. And if you sew everything in the same color, nobody will ever know the difference. So there you go. And then you can turn everything back on. So Control A. Actually, let's do this. From here, hold my Shift key down and grab them all. You're not going to let me do that, you little ornery thing. Turn those back on. Now we can do Control A and change them all to the same color. Let's go over here to color and change them all to green. So now everything's green, okay? And it's simply a matter of trimming that stitch, okay? I use, you can do either one, Vicki. I tend to use the zigzag stitch because I think it anchors it better, but you could do either one. That's up to you. Just make sure it's inside that stitch area. That's the biggest thing. Make sure it's in there and it's going to anchor it in. So, I mean, it really all depends on what I'm working on. Let's see here. Yes, you can certainly create embroidery designs yourself, like a flower or an animal. Yeah, Jerry's doing fine. He's just no longer with Brother. He decided to go with a different company. Okay. Joanne asked what my favorite BES fonts are. Good question. So I'm going to go up here. Sorry, forgot to flip screens. Let's scroll up to the top and take my little check mark off of that, and I'll show you my favorites. I may have some of them listed here, favorites. So here are this is my list of favorites that I use a lot. Baked Fresh, Bella Large, Bounce, Brandon, Chalk, Charmed Large, Dottie, Drake, Girly Curls, and Hopefulness. Those are my favorites. Now, there are some others in there that I use a lot, but that is my list of favorites, Joanne. I also like, I'm trying to think what else I like. If I'm doing something fun for Christmas, I like to do Merriment. And I love Granny O. I haven't added Granny O to my list. Granny O is one of my favorites as well. But I also like Merriment. So Merriment is a fun one in that the uppercase letters are ornaments and the lowercase letters are packages. That one's fun to play with. And if you all don't know how to add your favorites to your font list, let's do that. If you go to your View tab and you go to your Preferences, you have this tab called Fonts. And you can create a category if you want. So my category, I have favorites and monogram fonts. So those are ones that I've created. So if I want to narrow down to monogram fonts, I can choose just monogram fonts. So if I want to add ones to my list of if you want to create a new list, you just punch new and let's say Facebook Live. And then I can come and add any ones that I want to. I also like the sports font. So I could put sports in there. I could put Wild West. It's kind of a fun one as well. I tend to use more single color fonts, but if that's something that you like, you can certainly do that. I might do Black Tie is kind of a nice one as well. Bounce is always fun, and Brandon I like. So, I mean, it's up to you to how you want to do it. If you want to like Celestial, go ahead and do that. Celebration is, so you could, I mean, a good one to create would be your specialty fonts, which would be your Celebrations, your Merriment, things that have special characters that are fun to do. Cherubs is fun. So when you say, okay, now if I go over here to my font category filter, here's my Facebook Live fonts that I just picked. There's my 2 color sports. Here's my 2-color Wild West. Whatever you want to do, you just click apply. And it'll stay in that category until you start new text or you change what you're doing. So these celebrations are my balloons. Uppercase letters have a string on them. Lowercase letters do not. They are always uppercase letters within the balloons. If you all do not remember it, if you want to do multicolored text, this little button right here in your text window will apply the tilde key in between every letter. So when you click apply, every letter is a different color, and you can come in and change those colors. So let's say I want that one to be, let's see here. I'm going to come pick this. Let's do this. I'm going to come select that one and tell it I want it purple. I want this one. I want it yellow. I want this one. I want it purple. So you can come in and switch them to where they're purple and yellow. You have it's super simple to do, and that's a great way to get it. Now, okay, so let me see if there are other questions over here. I agree with you, Kelly. It definitely opened a world of possibilities. I mean, I was working on a little 4x4 machine, and so having that extra space made things lots of fun. I mean, it expanded those possibilities. So if you can't go to a bigger machine yet, you can always buy that multi-position hoop. But I mean, P Design may be more software than you want at that point. But I personally have had P Design since I got since my second machine, which was a 5x7 machine, because that's when the first version of software came out. So I've been using it ever since there. Let's see here. What else we got? Cindy, probably not, because every other letter there would not be jump stitches between, because it has, it's stopping. And I did not do a color sort. Let's see if color sort actually works. I don't remember off the top of my head. If I do color sort, nope, it won't. It will not let you color sort unless you preserve as stitches. So if I wanted to color sort that one, I would need to preserve it as stitches first, and then it could color sort. But you want to make sure that you preserve it, that you are ready to do it before you do that. Okay. And the 2-color fonts will automatically be color sorted, Erin. Let me show you that. Let's see here. Let's undo, go back to this, and we'll come and grab this text and we'll change it to one of the 2-color fonts. So 2-color sports. Oh, it's only in uppercase letters. If you notice you only get one letter, it's only in uppercase, or the case that you chose was not there. You'll notice over here that it is color sorted. So the 2-color fonts automatically color sort. And this one is an interesting one in that the purple sews first. So if we watch it simulate, oh, I need to hit the play button instead of the single stitch. You'll notice that the purple's going to go underneath it first. And then it will come back in with the other, and it'll do that for every single letter, I believe. Boy, I must have a lot of pull comp put on this still. I bet I have 0.6 still on my pull comp. Okay, so I'm going to stop that, but you can notice that all of the, we'll pause that twice to stop the stitching, that all of it's there, okay? And you do not need to color sort it. So, Vicki, there's not a setting that you can choose for a long satin, but what you could do is similar to preserve as stitches in BES4. Let me come back over and share my screen and show you what you can do. Oh, good. I didn't get rid of it. We can come in here, grab it all, and go to the Shapes tab and convert it to stitches. Once you've done that, each section is its own thing, and you can come in and grab your Select Point tool, click on that section. Boy, there's a lot in there. Let me zoom in and highlight anything that you don't want there. Oh, I had undersewing on there and everything. We wouldn't have needed undersewing. But you'll notice I can get rid of all of the little stitches under. Let me undo and undo. Let's make sure, let's take off our undersewing. So I'm going to hold my control key down and grab all of these pieces and take off my undersewing. So, because for fringe, we do not need any undersewing. All right, now if we grab it all, Control A, Shapes, and convert to stitches. When we grab this section, select point, you can grab just those rows. So those intermediate satin stitches, you can simply highlight and press delete on the keyboard, and those are gone. So go to the next section. Do the same thing. All of the intermediate stitches will be taken away. And go to your next section. Same thing. Highlight them all. Just hold your left mouse key button down and drag across them and press delete on the keyboard. And then you have big long satin stitches. So just keep in mind your machine is going to stitch this very, very slowly, because it does. Boy, I must have drawn that just crooked as the day is long. Very, very slowly, so that it doesn't go, that it doesn't harm your machine. Okay. So it will go very slowly. It's just going to go back and forth because it's a long path for it to take. If we measure my satin stitch here from one end to the other, so from here to here, look down at the bottom, that's 33 millimeters. Let's change that to inches. That's 4.7 inches of a satin stitch. That's going to be a really, really long step. So I must have a 10-inch hoop. Yeah. So I made a big honking tree. That would not be the tree that I would stitch, because I mean, that thing would be that'd be a huge tree. But yeah, the convert to stitches will actually convert that into a stitch format. So it's a fixed stitch format, and that allows you to take out any extra stitches that you don't want. Okay. Yeah, learning it old school was, I mean, it was very manual back in the day, guys. You guys got to, I mean, this software's come a long, long way. The things that I have automatic buttons for now used to take much more time to do, especially that background fill thing. It takes way less time to do that now. All right. Are there any other questions that oh, I see one here. I'm new to edge quilting. It's supposed to put a thread mark on both. No. Okay, Caroline, what it does is at the end of every section, it will put a thread mark, except for the bottom row. At the end of every section that it does, it will put a thread mark in the bottom left corner. Okay, as it's facing you. You'll see it in the bottom left corner. And I'm trying to remember how I did this. Follow the directions on the screen. What I will tell you that I learned, and we'll probably do a video on this next month in the Education Connection. Heather and I think we figured out a day to do it next month. I think we've said October 27th that both of us will finally be home and done with stuff. If not, one of us will record a video. I did a huge quilt with it. I mean, it was 72 different hoopings. After that first row, after I got down to the third row, I started saying, okay, I'm tired of moving in and out of the machine and going to the floor and rehooping. So what I ended up doing was just lifting the magnets off, sliding things over, putting one magnet on each side to kind of align it. And then you'll match it up to the end, where the end point is. And it's pretty simple to do. What I would do is I would start out with something like a small panel, something manageable instead of going huge, but it only puts those thread marks in the bottom left corner. And when you get to the bottom row, it does not put them in at all. Okay. Um, yeah, shift key usually gives me a straight line, but that's only when drawing a straight line with a straight line tool. It does not do it, evidently. It used to do it over here, but evidently it doesn't do that anymore. Maybe if I went side to side, let's see. No. So yeah, that's not going to do it. But what you could do is go to your view tab and put on a grid and then say snap to grid, and then it will force you to draw straight lines. So I can do that and come back up here and do that. And then I would have had a straight line. Okay. But I didn't. That gives you that straight line. I tend not to use my grid as much, and you don't actually have to show the grid if you don't want to. If you have snap to grid on, it's going to snap to a grid line regardless of whether you see that grid or not. Just keep that in mind. Okay. So I'm taking my snap to grid off right now before I forget. I'll come back in here and go, and yes, Bridget, I am going to Houston. So where will I be in the next few weeks? Next week, if you haven't signed up and you still, there's probably still space available. Heidi's Sewing Machine Company has a 3-day sewing, quilting, embroidery, and crafting conference. SEQC, I believe is what they call it. I will be there teaching for 3 days. I have a scan and cut class plan for you that's kind of fun. Their theme this year is the Wizard of Oz. There you have a rotating class schedule, so you get to go through multiple classes every day. It's all day Friday and Saturday, and half 3/4 of a day on Sunday. We end right after lunch on Sunday. And that one's lots of fun. You get a chance to try out a variety of different machines, top of the line machines. You don't have to bring your own. The scan and cuts are provided. It's like 2 people per machine. You get to meet a lot of fun new people, and it's just a good time. So that's a place that I will be in the next 2. That's where I'll be next week, actually. After that, there is Scan and Cut University. That's virtual that Heather and I will be teaching at. We have quite a few projects for you and a lot of different techniques that we'll be covering through our 2 days. We're doing our 2 days together. Julie's doing hers separately. She's the first day. We're the second 2 days. So that's there. And then I will be in Houston. And after that, I'll be in Novi. That I'm basically doing 2 weekends a month of technical work or traveling, and then the rest of the time's at home. So, or at my brother's. Like I was at my brother's last week and got absolutely no work done. Just doesn't happen when you're there. My feet hit the ground at basically 5:45 my time, and did not hit the ground till 11 o'clock my time. So I didn't hit the bed till 11 o'clock my time. So it's really those are long days. So anyhow, question on my snap to grid. You can see the stitches went down and up on this 2 tier where the stitches going sideways. Yes, they're angled. So it would go back this way. Okay. Yeah, I know. It was crazy. What we used to do is what we used to do manually has been just revolutionized now. So we worked on printed templates. We worked on marking lines. That first machine that I had, I knew nothing. It was a little handheld scanner thing that we made embroidery designs out of. So, that's amazing how far we've come in the software and in the machine world and what they've done. This new 2850D was basically all right. So I know we have an 1850D that's still in the lineup, that the Dream Machine, but I'm sorry, 8500. which one's the 8500? Is that my? It may be my XP. I don't remember if the 8500 is the Dream or the XP. I think it's the Dream. Um, but my 8200 was my second embroidery machine, and it's the same as this 2850D, except it had a whole lot less stuff on it. So I would have loved this one. My brother is doing well. We had a good week last week. Every day he made progress. So he's recovering from his PE, his pulmonary embolism, very well, and he's making remarkable strides. PT and OT has been in. They've taught him some new tips and tricks, and they're working on getting him stronger. So that's great. You could use water soluble thread in the bobbin for the fringe if you want. I find it more of a pain in the patootie to switch out threads, and I would forget on my anchoring stitches. That's a lot of switching back and forth. But if you're only doing like one row of fringe, then certainly go ahead and do your. Just don't forget to switch that water soluble bobbin thread out when you're ready to put the anchoring stitch down. Okay. Sorry about that, Marcia. Good to see you though at the end of the day. You can go back and watch from the beginning when we're done. Any other questions, guys? And Joanne, thanks for posting that up there. There you go. SEQC extravaganza. And like I said, our theme this year is the Wizard of Oz. We're doing a wine bag in my class. So you can carry it along or go get your own wine to carry with you for the rest of the week, depending on what you need to do. So we're going to have fun. I think you all will enjoy your classes, and you'll learn a lot of different techniques about machines. And it's just a fun time. It's good to be able to get away and do stuff again. All right, guys. Any other questions that I have missed today? I don't think so. I'm looking to see. Usually it depends on if you've closed the program or not. If you're working with the same text, it will stay there. Let's go look and see. I haven't, in P Design, it will stay. In BES, let's see if we come in and add a new stream of text. All right, so let's apply it and let's go down here and see what we've got. It does not hold it on a new stream of text. It only holds it on the text that you are editing. In PE Design, however, whatever you did last is what's going to be there the next time. So if I had 0.3 of pull compensation, that's what's going to happen the next time I draw. So BES Blue and BES 4 are the same when it comes to pull compensation. They would reset themselves if you start a new stream of text. They hold it if you're editing the text that you have in there. Okay. Okay. So Kehoe Strong is my brother. It's funny. He signs his name Kehoe. All right. And everybody knows him as Kehoe. And so some friends of his had these bracelets made in support of him fighting cancer. So that's what Kehoe Strong is. And it's in orange and white because we're Tennessee fans. And oh, by the way, how about those balls? It was good. So that's what that is. And it's just all of his friends and family are wearing it in support of his fight for cancer. And that's what we're on. Thanks for asking though. All right. Yes, the Brother Scan and Cut University is happening at Sewing Machines Plus. That sign up date may have come and passed, but let's see here. Let me see if I can find that for you. Brother Scan and Cut, I'll give you a link here. If not, give me just a second. And let me go over here. and do a little banner, create a banner, and pop that down there. So that's Scan and Cut University. And let's see here. Okay, this one right here is the Heidi's one. Okay, so those are the two links there. Yes, go Vols is right. There you go. Um, those are the two links to the different classes that I will be teaching at here in the near future. And those are true classes. So you will learn a technique, you will learn something in those. They are true classes. What else did I want to tell you all? Oh, books. Since books are back in, let me see if I can't give you a coupon code. Remember, give me till the end of the day to get them. Give me till after we're off of here to make them active, because I honestly didn't think of that beforehand. So LAT4 is for the Lettering So Easy workbook. DIG10 is for the Digitizing So Easy workbook. And remember, that is the one that I'm selling for 11, because besides the new features, and I've covered those pretty extensively with you guys here. So if there is something that you don't know, you can always ask it here as a question, and I will be happy to take care of it for you. But I have a really bad time about self-promoting. And if you would always tell people to like my page, I'm going to do self-promotion here today. Like my page, like my YouTube channel, sign up for it, do whatever subscribe to it, do whatever you have to do. Just get those numbers popped up. And if you're not already a member, Heather and I do have the Education Connection group. That is quite fun. People are always posting stuff that they've done. I'm looking to see where that is. Here it is. If you go, it is only on Facebook because it is a private group. The Education Connection. If you search for that on Facebook, you will find it. You must agree to the terms and answer the questions. If you've done that, then guess what? You'll automatically be entered. If you didn't, you will get a rejection letter sometime later down the road, because that means Heather and I have to go in and look and approve. We'll tell you why you didn't get approved, that you've either didn't answer the questions or you didn't answer the questions, or you didn't agree to the terms, or both. So, oh, sorry, I didn't mean to lose my comment. So that's basically that. And we do try to have a live, but we try to do it monthly, but we have both had family illnesses. So and we're back to traveling. So getting together is kind of crazy. I do not have a book for my design center. We have done videos for them, but we do not have a book for that. Okay, so thank you guys for coming and joining me today. I hope you had a good time. As always, send in those questions before. Oh, wait. Yes, I will be here next week. Send in those questions before next Tuesday, and I will answer. See, and we'll try to get you on this week. So my dad, Pat, is directly in the path of the hurricane. Here's Tampa. Here's my dad. So they are just northwest of Tampa. So they're in Newport Richey, which means they are in the direct path of the hurricane. And but they do have a place off of the water that they can go to. So they bought a condo off of the water, as well as their house that's on the water. So they've moved inland a bit. They'll still get the storm, but they won't get the flooding, hopefully. So, all right, guys, I've got friends that live down there too. So, and lots of you guys live down there. So y'all stay safe if you're in the path of the hurricane, there's crazy weather all over. So there's something always happening. There was a shooting in Murfreesboro, and my husband came home and told me that it's basically right across the street from us, that the apartments that the shooting was at are across the highway behind the bank across the street. So I was like, oh, wow, I wish you hadn't told me that. I was pretty I was pretty oblivious. I thought it was on the bad side of town, but it's not. So you all have a great rest of the week. She's staying put, Debbie. Well, my prayers are with her. So, and Cindy, your parents are right next door to mine then. We need to meet up there sometime. So, all right, guys. Marcia, ooh, your family's close too. So prayers for everybody, y'all. All keep safe and stay waterproof, I guess. Get your boats ready, get your shutters up, get all of your outdoor furniture in, make sure your boats are anchored, the whole 9 yards. So y'all have a great rest of your week. If you're here in Tennessee, it is absolutely beautiful this week. A little chilly for us, but beautiful. It's going to be in the 40s again tonight. Shocking. So y'all have a great day. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.